actually comes on, it's on right now. You can watch it on FX Wednesday nights, 10 o'clock. Are you guys ready to meet the cast? All right. Coming up first is the legendary. We know him from a lot. Boys in the Hood, Poetic Justice, Baby Boy. I mean, we could take all day, but please give it up for the co-creator and executive producer, John Singleton. Up next is Dave Andron, also co-creator and executive producer. Give it up for Dave. The rising star, his name is Damson Idris, playing Franklin Saint. Give it up for him. Playing Teddy McDonald. Please give it up for Carter Hudson. This is a familiar face. She's playing Sissy Saint. Her name is Miss Michael Hyatt. Playing young little Leon Simmons. Please give it up for Isaiah John. And finally, one of my favorite characters, playing Auntie Louie. Please give it up for Angela Lewis. Yes, Angela. Welcome, guys. How are you guys feeling today? Good, good, good.
Is this on?
Everything's on. Does everyone's mic work? Hello.
Yeah. Hello. Hey, listen.
Hello.
Really came out for us.
Yes. Y'all enjoyed it, right? Make some noise.
I love this. I love it. I love it.
I love
My mother was born in Philly.
Oh, look at you. So kind of Philly boy, right?
Yeah. I'm not a Philly boy. I'm from LA, but my mother was born here, so I guess.
Well, if your mother's from here, you already know. You know, through the mom, right?
Charles Street. Charles Street?
Okay, that's where she's from? Nice. So you come here often? You come back?
I only came here for the first time when Boys in the Hood came out.
Okay.
But I still have relatives. I think my cousin's here now there somewhere.
Where your cousin at?
You there?
John Singleton's cousin? There he is. Stand up, cousin. He's like, that's right. That's my family. So I noticed that it's 3 of you guys who created this, right? Dave, you were part of this triage who put this together. Can you talk about the workflow a little bit into putting this together?
Oh, you take that.
Yeah, I mean, this was, I had been at FX. I'd worked on a show called Justified for 6 years with them. And John and Eric had written a version of this script that they had at Showtime for a minute, and then I ended at FX. And they hadn't really done TV. So FX kind of called when Justified ended and said, will you take a look at this? And I read it and immediately loved the world, and we just dug in.
Yeah.
We dug in on the script, and we changed some things and reworked some stuff, and here we are.
John, you're legendary in the movie industry. You know, now you're actually doing like a series. You know, it's not like a movie where you go and, you know, you have a couple of months and then you have a couple of months off. How is this different doing a series?
It's very different. It's a consistent flow. It's you have what's known as a longer narrative. You have more time to develop the characters and let them go out for a period of time. Whereas in a film, you have 2 hours and you want to do as much as you can within that 2 hours. You know you got to keep it intense from moment to moment. Here you can live and breathe and let the characters prosper, and you know, and they become part of your family. Like, you know, the whole goal of this show was to create these characters that you will fall in love with, and you know, not everybody's gonna make it through the life of the series. I'll tell you now, but you know, but it'd be you know, they're almost members of your family, people that you know, you're familiar with,
right?
You know, and that's the whole goal.
Damson, you're a rising star. Your character is very complex. You're actually from the UK.
Yeah, from London. Yeah.
From London. So how did you prepare to play a boy from the LA streets?
So I basically listened to a bunch of hip-hop.
Like? Who'd you listen to?
Every city, this is what happens. Everyone's like, what?
It's funny. It's funny. I listened to Ice Cube, Dub C, Snoop Dogg,
yes,
and Kendrick Lamar. And I'm staying, I won't say what hotel, but I go in the gym, and who's running in the Philadelphia hotel gym?
Kendrick
Lamar.
Like 5 hours ago.
Like 5 hours.
So he has a show tomorrow night here.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
And obviously, I run up to him.
Until he had left the gym. Then he lets us know.
So did you tell him I listened to your music to prepare for my role?
I ran up to him and said, I'm such a big fan, man. Oh my gosh, please watch Snowfall. It's on FX and it's about your place. But he's going to watch it, hopefully. He was supposed to be here, but he didn't come, so it's kind of sad.
Yeah, well, security had to escort Damson out of the gym away from him. It's a little awkward.
I love this synergy. Is this what the energy is like on set? Like you all are joking and playing?
We hate each other for real.
So you play a CIA operative, right? Now, while you were researching for this role, was there anything that you learned? Because there's been speculation for years, you know, the CIA's involvement in the beginning of crack and what that did to the culture. Did you learn anything from that in your research?
Yeah, and I could tell you all about it. Then I would have to kill you. No, it was really eye-opening. I was woefully ignorant to most of this history, and it was a lot of research. It was a lot of reading, a lot of watching, a lot of YouTube holes that I wandered down. Started just to learn about the CIA's place in geopolitics over the last 60, 70 years is really shocking. And then we also had one of the writers on the show grew up in with two parents who were CIA officers.
Oh wow!
She didn't find out until she was 14, and they sat her down to dinner and they were like, "So we're spies," and she was like, "That explains so much," and she took me out to lunch when we first started, and we were able to kind of sit down, and she could really kind of talk to me about what that was like what just, you know, growing up in a house just day to day, like what's a Tuesday like at a CIA household.
Right.
That was actually really, really helpful.
Oh, so you didn't even know that was helping you in this role, that it would help you, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's like kind of like the thing, like you feel like every character feels far away until you figure out like what kind of socks they're wearing, or like what they prefer for dessert or whatever. Yeah.
Angela and Michael, your character, I love your characters. I just love what you guys represent. Can we give it up for the ladies of the film? Woo! So badass. How do you think the portrayal of women during this era, how do you think that impacts the viewer?
I think the viewers, if the viewers think anything like me, I'm grateful to see women like these being represented so truthfully in television, and I'm speaking about the writing.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful to be able to be a part of this communication between the artists and the public. I mean, it's an honor, and it's not something that we as African women have the opportunity to see much in our industry. So it's a blessing.
Well, you guys are really the backbone. You're holding these families together, literally, you know, in different ways, offering support in different ways. You know, I actually got the opportunity to watch the second part of this, the second episode, and your character really comes to light and how strong you are in trying to keep you and Damson's character, what you're doing in order to put food on the table, you know?
Yeah, you know, I mean, as every mother knows, you do your best to make a way, you know? Sissy, I don't remember the episodes, but Sissy is trying her best to create a life for her family that is better than what she experienced as a child, do you know? She wants to make a world better for her child. And we do the best we can. It doesn't always work out that way, but, you know, that's what we do as parents, you know, and we got to hold it down. I'm a single parent. Right. So what are we going to do? I mean, who else is going to take the ball?
Right. You've been on The Wire, West Wing, Ray Donovan, Damson. This is one of your first roles. You know, did you learn anything from Michael working closely with her? She's your on-screen mom.
Of course, man. Like when she's not watching me, I'm watching her. She's a phenomenal actress, and She's cringing right now. I tell her all the time now, I say, I'm learning so much from her, and I still everything. The beauty of it is, what we don't realize is, in real life, we get a lot from our parents, how we talk, our mannerisms. So I knew whatever actress I was working with, I'd be stealing a lot of stuff from her. So sorry I stole a lot from you.
So Isaiah, you play his young friend, right?
Yeah.
Vibrant. You bring the funny.
Of course.
I was reading that you actually were a big fan of John Singleton. You know, how's it been working with him on this project?
It's life-changing. I mean, you know, growing up, I was able to watch his movies at a young age.
Right.
I'm 21. So
You're 21?
Yeah, I'm 21. Yeah.
This is amazing for you to be 21 and you're on TV every week.
21 Savage. Just growing up and be able to watch, you know, Baby Boy and Boys in the Hood, and being able to work with John and call John, hey, yo, like, it's life-changing. It's crazy. Like, I can't. This is like a dream come true. You know?
Yeah. I mean, John, your work it just speaks for itself, you know, so we're happy that you have something on TV every week, Wednesday nights, 10 o'clock on FX. Angela, I love your character. But you're not like your character. I get that you're like sweet and you wouldn't beat anybody up. Like,
Never.
Like, how do you get into that role, especially the scene when you're whooping that girl's ass? Like, what do you got to tap into?
I think I just had to take off the love filter. Just, you know, I think that's really what it was, and just tap into like what's really going on with her right now as opposed to me. And once I was able to kind of let go of my inhibitions and just go for it 100%, yeah, there she was. But that was the surface. On the inside, she and I are a lot alike. It's true. Like, I think that Louie is, I think she's very sensitive. I think she's been heartbroken over and over and over again. I think she has big dreams that have been squashed, and people telling her she can't do this, she can't do that, doors slamming in her face over and over and over again. And so what is that like? I can relate to that, you know, and so but I had people telling me I could do it. No one ever told me in my whole life that I couldn't do something. And so I've been able to do things that Louie can't ever. And so that's where we connected. What would my life be like if people told me I couldn't do it? If a door was slammed in my face all the time, with no hope. That's where Louie is.
Yeah. Are we gonna learn more about Louie? Because Louie is very intriguing to me. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
A whole lot.
A whole lot.
Tell them everything that happened.
Don't tell them, they don't know yet.
You don't have to watch the show. You just.
John, so when this is, it's 10 episodes, correct?
10 episodes, yeah.
So when the 10 episodes are done, is this gonna continue? Like, how does that work?
Yeah, you know.
If you guys watch the
You
show,
watch the show.
Right,
it will
that's
continue.
the plug.
You tell 10 other people to watch the show. The show's doing well enough, but hey, keep the numbers up, get them high. You know, because it's not easy to do this. It's not, especially to get that real shit, as we say, on TV. You know, how many people have seen the second episode? So, you know, we go real.
Right.
You know, and it's about to get realer tomorrow night.
Absolutely.
You know, it's really about, you know, how well the show does. And I think, you know, we got a good shot at second season, but, you know, hey, it's all about you and the audience and how much you love the show and live with it, and how, you know, how it propagates in the whole pop culture.
Right.
And look, this is a story that has not been told in this depth from the start, and this is a show that needs 3 or 4 seasons. Like, we're not going to rip through what Crack did to this country and to these communities in 2
10 episodes, right?
Certainly not in 10, and like, even if we, you know, pick it up, like, it takes 3 or 4 seasons, and I think everybody's aware of that, FX is aware of that,
Yeah.
and we're really hoping that we can kind of get enough of a following to at least get to tell this story properly. It feels like now's a good time to get into it.
And you're focusing on more than one community, so you have to see how it unravels in each community, which I think is important.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So do you guys have any questions? Because I know you guys, oh, yeah, okay, let's go. She was like, I was ready. I got my question ready. Just tell us your name and ask your question.
My name is Melody. Hi, everyone. Very good. But my question goes to the gentleman that plays Franklin. Franklin, there are many people that have daddy issues. I'm one that have daddy issues that shaped my life. What did it take for you to actually bring those tears? Because when I saw that, it hit me here, and what went through your mind to really bring those tears, to make me feel through the screen?
Between me and everyone in this room, I'm the youngest of 6, single mum who's a champion, and my dad left me as soon as I walked out of the womb. So as soon as, we did a couple takes with the actor and without the actor. Some of the times it was just a member of the crew for the eye line, and I was seeing my dad every single time. So I wouldn't even call it tears. That was just real life. I've cried in my bedroom so many times. Still cry sometimes. He calls me, and it's a struggle to talk to him. But to everyone out there who's having daddy issues, we need to forgive them for whatever they've done. And that's the real. That's the real. We need to forgive them.
That's great that you can use that emotion and put it into your craft, you know? Anybody else have a question over here? Okay.
Hey, doing? My name's Meredith Edlow. I'm a professor at Temple University, and their journalism department. Go to Owls. Go Owls. You. I really think it's really great what you're doing with your filmmaking and your storytelling, and I really am interested in the story with regards to journalism. And can you also speak to how all of your main characters are underdogs? So is there sort of, are we rooting for everyone in this series?
I think ironically you are rooting for everyone, even the most dysfunctional ones. You know, I guess the lead characters, everybody wants something in the show for various reasons. And I wouldn't put it in a journalistic kind of thing. It just, you know, when we talk about writing, you know, you have to always talk about what the character's needs and wants are. And the interesting things are, you know, there used to be a narrative that a main character's needs and wants always had to be something positive. You know what I mean? And in television and also great movies, you know, the anti-hero movies, the central character's needs and wants don't necessarily have to be positive. They can start out one way, and the audience knows that these people are going down a spiral path. Teddy's going down a spiral path. Gustavo's going down a spiral path. And Franklin definitely, through his ambition, is going to lead to the destruction of his neighborhood and his family. So, I mean, that's what's interesting to me. But also, we're doing, as quiet as it's kept, it's like social justice storytelling, in a sense, because we're telling a story that has never been told before, because this narrative of what happened is kind of an unwanted thing for the main public to be privy to. And I'm sure you understand what I'm saying, right? And that's, for me, you know, in storytelling, that's what drives me really with this thing.
Yeah, we also wanted to link these guys all thematically because you are dealing with 3 separate worlds, right? Which is a little, I think, for an audience, it's like, okay, I'm following these things. We wanted to make sure that they felt linked in what they were trying to achieve, right? You're absolutely right on that they're all so different, but they share this kind of common thing, and they're all now, the water's already up to here, and they're gonna spend the season trying to keep their heads above it.
It's like when you watch this, you're like, half of the audience is like, yeah, let's see how he's gonna sell that key. And then the other half is like, damn, don't be selling that dope. And then when he does sell the dope, you're like, oh shoot, he sold that dope, he came up. And he's like, get the hell out of it, right? And then you're like, nah, he gotta keep going, we gotta see what he's gonna do. You know what I mean? Like, you're supposed to, you know, it's nice to have an entendre while you're watching the characters. You're like, you have that tug and pull, and you're into the journey.
Good evening to you all. My name is Norman Bayard, and I'm not a big TV watcher. However, what I can say, I was definitely drawn in by this episode. And my question to you all is, it brought back memories. I remember when crack first hit this city, and I remember neighborhoods being decimated and families being torn apart. In terms of the research that you all have done, specifically to the young man that's playing Franklin, you said you listened to a lot of hip hop. Did you familiarize yourself with the story of Freeway Ricky Ross?
Honestly, I didn't. I knew about Freeway because of the whole thing that blew up with his name being used by the rapper. So then I inevitably did research, and then maybe it probably was about a year or 2 years where I even heard about Snowfall on day one I asked, is this Freeway's story, because I don't look like Freeway, and they told me no, obviously this isn't a biopic, it's fiction, so that's where we kind of saved ourselves.
Yeah, it's not Rick's story. I mean, I know Rick. I've known Rick for 20-some years. I mean, like, you know, he's like the most famous person of that time frame that's still around, that everyone knows about. But there's a lot of stories of dudes like this. You know what I mean? Like that, basically, you know, they found opportunity where there was one. But Rick is the most famous person that people know in this generation. You know, that was it. But I mean, I took pains, and I took him. But they did a documentary on him, like what, 3 years ago, and I was telling them I was working on this, and I was saying, don't worry, you know, we can still tell you a story, because this thing is totally different in the way that Franklin comes into the game than the way Rick does.
Hi, Felicia. I'm from Camden, New Jersey, actually, and this
Camden.
There's no whooping for that.
There's no whooping. You British?
And just because how crack has devastated such a small city of 85,000 plus people. But I wanted to get into, how did you actually, in terms of doing your research, the symbiotic relationship between the CIA and Chief Gates during that time. I wonder if that story, that narrative.
We didn't get into that.
Maybe season 2, because that would be very interesting.
we need her as a consultant.
That's right.
You should get her in the writers' room. I think part of what I think you're absolutely right.
In terms of how the complicity of it, because I can see how you have police officers that were complicit with knowing CIA operations within the city of Los Angeles at that time.
Well, I would say, without giving things away, if we get a couple seasons in, the complicity was even more so in terms of when all that money was flowing. Okay, so, you know, anybody heard of Officer Sobel? And people have probably even heard of who Officer Sobel is, but you probably have heard. You know what I mean? Like, there's a whole lot of different things that can be done within this narrative that could shed light on those historic events that people don't even talk about. But we take it as a matter of course that with the proliferation of cheap cocaine, that this happened, and once it happened, we don't say that the CIA was responsible for it, you know, but there's definitely it's just happening. It's a means to an end to be able to finance this war in Central America. So
yeah, we'll get there. There's a cop in the show at this point. This is the one Easter egg. I keep dropping these things. But there's a cop in the show at this point already that you don't know is a cop.
Hello,
so we're already planning those people, so you'll...
Hello, everyone. My name is Michael Tiller. I'm with ChuckD'sRapStation.com. So I'll tell you hi, John. As a writer, I'm interested in your character development. Does it start with the central character and then the personalities?
It's always about character. It's always about character first. Character, for me, always dictates story, because those who are writers or aspiring writers in the room, you know, you could have, they said there's a saying there's only 7 different plots that can be told, but there's so many different people in the world and so many different types of characters in the world. And if you follow character first, and let the character dictate the story, then you'll have something that permeates differently.
Hi everyone, my name is Paralee. I just wanted to say the film was really, really well put together. What I really liked about it was the music placement. I thought that the music that was placed for each scene really did a really good job of bringing everything together. So my question was, who is the music supervisor, and what is the process that you have for choosing the music for the different scenes?
Yeah, her name is Maggie Phillips, and she's wonderful. I mean, she did Moonlight, she did The Leftovers. We had kind of nerded out. I mean, John's a big music fan, obviously. I am as well. There were things that were scripted in there. Some of those things we put in before we brought her on, and then she would come on. And look, this pilot, we got a massive budget, as you often do in pilots, to kind of blow it out. And then you get into the series, and it gets more challenging because there's not as much money. So then Maggie proceeded throughout the series to kind of dig in, find stuff that was really wonderful, obscure, things that were just really true. All of it's true to the time period. And things were a little more obscure, but there's some wonderful stuff, and she's amazing. She did a great job.
Yeah, like the Hall & Oates in the pool scene. Yeah, they just push you right there, man. They push you right there.
Nina Simone.
Good evening, my name is Stephanie. I'm here as a reporter for the Neighborhood Leader, so I'm recording this. But I think it's important that people know that that whole cocaine thing was done so the United States could fund, you know, a rebel government.
That's exactly what we're doing.
Oh yeah, but that.
Yeah, so I hope that that's clearly brought out, that politics in us sort of usurping what happened in other nations cost us.
Yes.
And that's some cold-blooded stuff.
Yeah, it's there. It's there. You'll see. Keep watching.
So once again, hashtag Snowfall FX. If you guys can stay seated while we walk the cast out, they're going to be on the red carpet. You can take your selfies. Just wait and let them get out there. And once again, thank you guys for coming out to the Philly screening of Snowfall. Hashtag Snowfall FX.
Thank you.
Tomorrow night, Wednesday nights, 10 o'clock.
I'm just getting out the way.
Come on, baby. Come on. Where's my phone? It's your back room.
John, how you doing? Say hi, Facebook.
Hi, Facebook. What's happening? Facebook Live?
Facebook Live.
On the Philly premiere. Snowfall.